Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for In Your Eyes by Joss Whedon. Yes, this film was just premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival, and Joss Whedon said, hey, you know what I'm going to do? Release this the same day digitally on Vimeo for only $5 to rent. So I was like, that's a pretty good price. I want to watch this movie. I've seen every movie, every show of Joss Whedon, so I was like, let me go see this movie. I love his work. I love that his stuff are more character-driven than plot-driven most of the time, and I love character-driven stories. So I was really looking forward to this because I always know that Joss Whedon's going to do a great job. So, with this film, I didn't really know anything going into it, didn't see a trailer. Honestly, I didn't know it was coming out until the day of. So I was like, let me do a review, let me watch this movie without knowing anything. Didn't look at reviews or anything previously, see if it was good, bad, whatever. So this movie's about two people from really the other side of the country, one from New Hampshire, other one from New Mexico. The boy in New Mexico, his name's Dylan. He's ex-con. You can see he's a good guy, though. He's just trying to get his life straight, hung out with the wrong people, and now he's paying for that. Doesn't really have a family, not good with girls, and he's kind of a lonely person, so we get to see him. And then we have another girl who's and her name's Rebecca. She's from New Hampshire, she's married, but she's not comfortable in her own skin. She makes other people do things for her in a way because she's too scared to do things. So she's scared of life. And now the movie is a supernatural tone. Of course, it's Joss Whedon, so we're going to get a supernatural tone, and that's something I also enjoy much about his films and his TV shows. Has some sort of sci-fi supernatural element, and with this supernatural element is that these two people never met each other, technically are able to see what the other person's seeing. And that's the whole movie. You're getting to see these two people talk to each other, find out, wait, I saw you go to jail. I saw you go to a mental hospital. So they've been living each other's lives for years, since they were kids. The opening scene is Rebecca knocks into a tree, and then Dylan feels that in class and falls down. So they've been feeling what each other feels for years, but just didn't know what that was, and now they're finally able to talk to each other. We don't know exactly why they're able to talk to each other right now, but it's a movie. You go with the flow. So the whole movie is them just learning more about each other and honestly finding out they kind of love each other, even though these other relationships aren't quite working. And that's it. That's the whole movie. I don't want to really spoil the whole thing. I will have a spoiler portions of this review, but there's not a big spoiler. I just want to talk about the ending a little bit, so I'll tell you when I get to the spoiler portion. But overall, I love this movie. I thought it was great. It's one of my favorite movies that came out this year so far. Again, I really love character-based stories, and I think this is a really well-done character-based story. Because at first when you see these two characters, if you see it on paper, it's like, oh, the cliche, I'm the bad boy, this girl, had a little bit more privilege, and they come together. And it really isn't that. They feel like real people. And I think they're well-crafted characters, again, feeling different from other movies, and I think that's important. And I think by the first 20 minutes, you really get into the movie, even though, really, all they're doing is talking to each other. One thing I think is so impressive about this movie is that, obviously, most actors work off each other with chemistry. They have to be in the same scene, but with this, the actors just in one room by themselves, but the chemistry feels like it's there. I thought the chemistry was super strong in this movie, and again, I think that's so impressive for not even being in the same room. I don't know how they made the movie. Maybe the person was like saying his lines on the other end in the room, but I just thought it was very impressive that this whole movie is really one scene, one person talking to themselves, and it's a really impressive movie in that way. And again, the story, it's touching. It's just touching stories. I thought the characters felt realistic, and that's what I love about Joss Whedon's work, is that even though it's a supernatural element, it brings out these realistic, real problems. And I think it's a really cool romantic film, but it's a hidden romantic film in a way. It's really about these two people, and I also thought the visuals were great. The way that, like, say, Dylan's or Rebecca's life, they showed it a couple of times. I thought that was really great. I love the song that Joss Whedon actually made for the movie Climbing. I was, like, looking for him, like, is this a real song? And I found out he actually created the song. So hopefully we'll get a soundtrack for this movie. That way I could hear the whole version of that song. But yeah, I totally recommend this one. I really loved it. It's not a long movie either. It's like, maybe, I would say, hour and 40 minutes. It's really not a long movie, and I think that was the perfect timing for it. I actually wanted more from it by the end. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to see what happens after this. Like, it felt like they could have a sequel, but no, Joss Whedon doesn't really do that many sequels. At least Cabin Woods hasn't had a sequel, you know. I don't know if this movie will have a sequel. Avengers will, but that's because it's a Marvel movie. But honestly, it felt like, yeah, there's more story to tell here. Hopefully there will be, because I really enjoyed this movie, and it just felt really good. And also I want to mention the cinematography was great too. I love the colors they used for both New Mexico and New Hampshire. I like the white and the yellow and how it contrasted throughout the whole film. So great cinematography. Yeah, I really love the movie. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. Totally recommend it. I think it's a fun, unique time. And the screenplay is something I haven't ever seen in this way. I think it's, again, film. You know, you've seen stories 10,000 times. I think it's a story you've seen 10,000 times, but in a unique way. So definitely see this. Before I end the review, I do want to talk about the ending. So if you don't want any spoilers, you get off the review. But I am going to talk a little bit about spoilers. So the only problem I did have about this movie was a little bit of the ending. Again, like I said, I kind of wanted more. The way it ended, they meet, and that's it. Like, I want to know what happens after. Like, they're going to Canada, but, like, what else? What happens to everything? When they meet, does their power still work, you know, or are they still in each other's head? Like, what does that look like? And that was actually a disappointment. When they first saw each other, in the end, I wanted to see what that looked like in each other's eyes, or does the power just, like, stop working? That's something I wish we saw a visual of, because we were seeing visuals each time of, like, what each other saw. So it would have been a really cool visual if we saw that once they actually met. I thought that was kind of needed, but they didn't use. But yeah, going back to it, I thought the ending was a little abrupt. I wanted a little bit more from it, maybe like 5 more minutes. But yeah, I would love the movie, like I said. I just wanted to talk about the ending. If you saw the movie, it's a little bit of a spoiler, so I wanted to talk about that. But totally recommend it. It's on Vimeo for $5. Worth your $5. Really cool movie. So tell me in the comments below if you got to see the movie, if you're interested in the movie, and if you want more movie reviews like this, for more indie films like this, because this is from the Tribeca Film Festival. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and their ad situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.